morning show. I got another great assignment today. Here I am sitting up on Promontory Point. That's what I call it anyway. Laughlin, right behind us. Beautiful home. Landscaping is amazing. And how did they get that landscaping done? Yeah, you got it. Aquatic Pools and Landscape. And I got both the guys here. Dana, how are you?
Good, how are you, Bruce?
Good to see you. And
Bruce?
Bogue, how are you?
Good, real good.
This is gorgeous up here. Tell me about this. How long ago did you start on this job?
Actually, we started at the beginning of summer. This is a second home for them, and they're up out of Washington. So we were pretty busy during the summer months, and they said, normally we're not here during the summer. So we got started, put the pool and spa in. They took off for the summer, so we shut down construction for about 6-8 weeks, and then came back in, and we finished it up probably the last 6-8 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you got to tell me, Dana, I'm looking at that. It kind of looks like a cutout of the Playboy Mansion pool. Huh?
Yeah,
oh, you had those thoughts too, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
Remarkable. Now, did you guys design that for them, or did they have a kind of an idea what they wanted?
Our designer designed it.
Yeah. We put the design together for them, kind of took them out, showed them a few projects that we had done, got an idea of what they wanted to do here, and then built it from there. They liked some pictures that we had shown them of another job that we had done a few years back, and really wanted to break up the back scenic area, and they've got some power lines back here, so they wanted to build a water feature and some trees around that area to block it.
Oh, I get it now, yeah, because in this way you haven't got any visual issues.
Yeah, they wanted to be able to see all the casinos. We have one tree that actually kind of cuts off a little bit, but it kind of balances out the yard, but everything else was focused on that side of the yard and blocking the power lines in the background.
Now, looking at these palm trees, these are amazing. These aren't that easy to find, are they?
No, they're not. They're not, but we were fortunate enough to find a local resident to do some trade work with.
Fantastic.
Yes, yeah, worked out good.
Wow. Well, were there any particular issues on this one that were, caused it to be a little more difficult than most? I mean, obviously sitting right here on a hillside like this, was that an issue at all?
Well, we just got to stay off of the slope and keep that in mind. Then also, whenever you're doing the design, everything kind of looks good. Whenever you're putting it down on paper, then you got to start thinking about access, and especially when you get into the larger trees. I mean, these trees can weigh up to 12,000 pounds, so we have to crane them in. So you got to think about distance and how far you got to set those things. So.
Yeah, okay, that's why the taller ones are closer to the fence.
Exactly.
You put out a reach that far, you can have, absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously this pool is, now I know you do a lot of saltwater mostly, is that what this is?
Yeah, this one's saltwater. It's one of our larger pools. It's 16 by 35 and 6.5 foot deep. It's another fiberglass pool and fiberglass spa. You wouldn't even believe it though. I mean, whenever you come walking out on the project to take a look at it. It's saltwater. It's actually a new saltwater system that we have.
Oh.
It actually has a mineralizer in it. And Dana actually knows a lot about that and how it helps with the water.
What's a mineralizer, Dana?
Well, the mineralizer, actually what it does is it prevents corrosion buildup on the cell itself.
Oh, you mean like
well, you have a cell that creates electrolysis.
Okay,
so it takes a
we've
dissolved
got a
salt,
huge amount of alkali here in our water, right?
So it helps absorb that rather than it being attached to the cell itself.
Oh.
So the blades don't get as corroded and cause damage and cause it to function better.
Almost like an anode, only different.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a brand new product this year, and seems to be doing really well. You got to change out the cartridge every 6 months. There's a small cost for that, but overall, the life expectancy of it's much longer.
Yeah, but you're talking about changing a filter on a regular pool system anyway.
Yeah.
At least, well, if not every 6 months, at least every year, because they get full of oil and sand and grit. It doesn't come out.
No.
It doesn't come out. Now, when I walked out here, I'm looking, I'm saying, and I'm jealous, I'm looking at this grass, and I'm saying, man, this is nice. How the hell did they get it to look this good? Obviously, it's not. It's a faux grass. And so many people are doing that. It looks nice. But it doesn't take the maintenance, obviously, that the lawn would.
Yeah, definitely. And we actually, the turf has come a long ways. It's like with anything, people look at it and go, well, what's the square footage price for your turf?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of different grades. 10, 12 years ago, there was like 1 or 2 basic grades. There's about 8 or 9 different grades. So when you walk out on this turf, You really got to get down and touch it to be able to tell that it's actually fake turf rather than real grass.
Yeah,
It's got a real, I mean, it's even got some brown strands into it, so it looks very realistic. The other thing is they used to put like rubber balls down inside of it to give it that realistic feel.
yeah.
Now we've gone to like a sand, and then it's actually broom finished out to give it that realistic look.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Makes it real nice.
And maintenance obviously is minimal. I mean, you might have to take a leaf blower to it every once in a while, and that's
Sure.
the extent of it.
Yeah, and it does get a little warm, so whenever you're laying it out design-wise, you want to try and keep it in those shaded areas too. So we try to do that on both sides of it.
So the fading with these things is non-existent
not gonna
anymore.
happen.
Yeah. I think everybody does remember, like you said way back when, I'm going to get some stuff and put it under my patio.
Sure.
You know, like the old stuff they use for deck boats. And you wind up with crap that's just all over your, just breaks up after a few years in the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the same stuff.
Exactly.
This yard, as beautiful as it is, and as many trees and whatnot, is relatively, I mean, it's easy to maintain.
Yeah, that
for
was the
anybody.
big thing with them, it being a second residence. They wanted to keep the cost down of the maintenance factor of
Right.
it. So we tried to keep that in mind too. We put a lot of palm trees and that sort of thing, but not so much vegetation that you've got to be in here, you know, every 3-4 weeks and trimming stuff back.
Right. Now, if you'll notice too, ladies and gentlemen, that everything, or I don't know, obviously you can't see it, but everything is on a watering system. So for folks that are gone so much of the time, they really don't have to worry about it. They got a gardener probably coming over once a week, just kind of clean things up for them. But they can come back and they've got this beautiful setting to enjoy. It's just ready for them to go. And I mean, it's ideal. It would be the ideal. Yeah, I could dig it.
Sure. And we followed up over the past couple years getting into the landscape maintenance and pool service and everything.
Okay.
Dana actually has do termite and pest control. They do RO systems. They do pest control service. So lots of times whenever we finish up a job like this, pretty much anything they need service-wise,
Yeah.
we can handle through Aquatic, or Dana can handle it through Ado.
So, you know, I'm thinking people are looking at this saying, oh my God, I can't afford that, you know. What we're doing for you is bringing you ideas. And there are things here that you probably can afford, and you can start building on it. I know you guys are working on a house with my friend over in Laughlin. And initially, you did your project for him and said, okay, he wanted a pool.
Mm-hmm.
And they started looking at it, and you know, after they drew out this CAD, they said, you know what, that takes up too much backyard. Can we back off and do this? So he goes back and he does everything he needs to. Now he's getting the hot tub, the jacuzzi, and it's amazing what they can do, and it's amazing the decisions you can make when you actually see what it's going to look like, exactly what it's going to look like on paper. It makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, we really itemize everything down. When we're done here this morning, I've got a couple of proposals that we put together for Kingman, a couple of jobs that we're doing up there, and just finishing some of that stuff up this morning. We just really go through and try and break it down and let everybody know, hey, the reason that we give you a proposal and give you all these itemized things is you may want to cut some things out, or you may want to add some things in. And we never feel like, hey, the first time we bring it out, the bottom line is what it is.
Right.
We'll work with anybody's budget or what they want to do on something. Even with this project, I mean, it was a very large project for us, but everything was itemized down so that they can pick and choose. And when we go through the CAD design, we like this, but we don't really need that. And it works out well for both us and them.
Absolutely. And you're doing everything on the side too. I mean, if people are not home, you know, you've got the pest control thing going on. You've got
pest control, got the pool service. You know, we do water softener, RO, salt delivery. So, you know, people may not want to go to the store. Everyone forgets to get salt, or they just, I'll wait till next week. I'll wait till next week. No, then it runs out, and that's not good for the system. So
right.
we offer the service, so once a month we bring out what's needed and bill you accordingly.
Fantastic. Well, all you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is just get over to the phone and call, because your yard, any size yard, can accommodate something nice for you to enjoy. And my gosh, you work hard enough. Why don't you get something back there and just start on it and start designing little corners of your yard, and eventually you can have the dream yard you're looking for. Gentlemen, I want to thank you. It's always good seeing you.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you very much, Bo. All right, we're going to go back to the studio right now. The wind's coming up, but nonetheless, you just saw one of the most beautiful areas in the town, believe me, right here. We'll be back in a minute.